Seems to me none of us really knows what's going on in our lives most of the time, although, I tell you, in interviews with some people, though, seem to have got their entire life down pat. Well, because of this, I became that, and you were being like this, I went into that, which coupled with this led to that, so now here I am, and I thought I would be there. Fuck me, whose life's that? My life is like all people moving around, doors closing, opening, traffic lights, so I know her, and I've got her confused with someone else. These are my shoes. So I find myself wondering what the teenager I used to be would think if he met me as I am now. For many of us, we spend our 20s, 30s and 40s embroiled in an ongoing negotiation with the ghost of our teenage self. I find myself justifying my life to this backseat drive to the psyche's heckles of sellout, trying to appease the ghost of my teenage self by every now and then buying a poetry anthology I'll never read. But later I thought, no, I want to have it out with this priggish, impatient little Clash fan, because for one thing, I think it may be him that's fucking up my love life. Him and his ideas of the one. And like, what does he know anyway? Virgin. So I invited him round with the aid of a book of spells and magic mushrooms. He was late, he'd missed his train down to London, the 1983 from Hitchin. But when he finally came through the door, I saw again the spike of hair, the Oxfam jacket down the can. I was surprised by how protective and warm I felt towards the ghost of my teenage self, and I gave him a big long hug, and he didn't like that at all. So, and I was hurt he didn't like that, so I says to him, yeah, well, I meant to tell you, honey, we've discovered we're homosexual. And he looks at me to check I'm just joking, and then he checks again. And I start to think, if he was really sure about his sexuality, he wouldn't have decided not to pursue that line of thought. A high-stakes game of Botticelli begins. So, are you winner of a Nobel Prize literature? No. Are you lead singer in a band? No. Are the Tories out? Yeah, Labour's in power. Oh, brilliant, a socialist government overturning all the evils of the Thatcher years. Yeah, it's great. So, where's the wife and the kids? Things are going to be difficult on that front. What, even though we were considered to be something of a catch in our younger day? That was a phrase I hadn't heard since fourth year physics. Mr. Cushion, our physics teacher, used to say that, among other things. He was this very short, round Welshman with really, really red skin, jet black, straight hair and a fringe. And he'd be halfway through writing a physics equation on the board when suddenly, for no reason at all, a shadow would fall across his mind and he'd just stop halfway through. Oh, when I was young, I was so handsome. But things have just been difficult with girlfriends. Ah, yes, I remember now. That's because we spent most of our teenage years pretending to be Johnny Rotten and then wondering why we couldn't get a girlfriend. A girl that come up to the youth club disco and say, "You having a nice time?" "No, it's extremely tedious." "And so are you." "What are you doing next week?" "There is no future." I said, "But don't, things are going to continue to be difficult, and throughout our 20s it will feel as if women have all the power in the interpersonal relationships, but because they will be very contemptuous, dismissive. They'll say, "You're boring and you're stupid." Do not despair. I'm 36 now. All women I knew 10 years ago, same age. Body clocks ticking very loudly, and the power is beginning to shift my way. I spent my 30s in a rocking chair on the veranda going, "So, decided to drop by and pay us a call. Well, there's going to be a few changes around here." Grandiose fantasies, omnipotence, taking you back to being rocked in Mama's arms. Yeah, but even though you're not married, we're not still. We're not still wanking all the time, are we? We've cut down. I lied, and because it was the third lie I told him, his molecules started to disintegrate into thin air until they became indistinguishable from the motes of dust in my own eye, vanished, leaving me with more questions than answers. Were we more truly ourselves then or now? And how can we know what's our true nature and what's society and environment? And maybe those things I got to thinking that we think of as out of character our real character.